Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Liftoff interview. I am here with SpookedAlter from Now's Bureau of Strikers. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine and well. Thank you for having me.
All right, great to have you. And joining us from the second launch pad right now in Liftoff. I'm interested to see how far you guys will get, and I wanted to ask you, how far do you think your team will get?
Well, at the current moment, our team's goal is to get to NASA, and I think we have a pretty good chance of getting there to our goal.
Okay, yeah, great to hear. And I guess I'll kind of ask you this as well, right? This is kind of a part two to that, right? Who do you think will make it to landing?
That is a interesting one because I don't necessarily know if we're gonna get to landing. I hope so because it would be a better seating for NASA and whatnot. But if not, it's all good because I know you don't have to get to landing to get NASA, right? Um,
Yeah, that's correct. I believe it is 2 wins in liftoff guarantees you NASA. Any less than that puts you into the LCQ.
right, right. Yeah, so that's basically our goal. What other teams I think are gonna be getting there? Obviously, like, there's some obvious picks that I think everyone would say, like Platinum Exclusive is obviously getting to landing. Um, Modern Magic, I believe, has a very high chance as well. Also, the Rose Petals is another team that I really enjoy and want to see them go far and succeed. Just because they have some friends on that team. And then another team that I would have to say, probably another team that I like a lot is Eternal Sovereigns, and I really hope they can get to landing because that has a couple of my friends too. So maybe I'm very friendsist, but yeah, I just like to see my homies succeed.
Hey, I mean that's fair, but I kind of also wanted to ask you, like, any thoughts specifically on these teams, kind of like talking about their players, maybe why you think they might make landing. So I mean, we can start with like PLX first, I guess.
Right. PLX just, I mean, they're hosting a very, very strong roster with Zay, Josh, Vaga, and Cows. But they also now get Pineapple that was on a different team before, I believe, that didn't qualify. And
Just
so,
clarifying, Pineapple was originally with them, and I believe will not be playing Liftoff because he plans to play in Nasty LCQ.
oh, I see. Okay. I still think without Pineapple, they'll have a strong shot. I think without Pineapple, it might be a little harder, but not impossible. So I still think they could definitely, because I mean, they have Josh, who's a very, very strong player overall, and Zay Forever, who's also another very strong, very known player to be able to, work the magic. So I think they'll be fine. For the Rose Petals, Twisty just has such a really strong like Kazan pick that you have to either ban it or pick it. And then he also has a really good Centauro behind it, followed with a couple other like standard brawler picks. So in that department, that's a team you'd have to worry about that brawler spot. And then you also have to, on top of that, worry about Luke, who's obviously just a very, very hard goalie to score against.
Now, other thing is Luke won't be playing for Liftoff. It'll actually be Zoro or the Fool. Luke will instead, I believe, be playing like landing if they can make it, and I guess further after that.
Right. I did hear that Luke wasn't able to make it, which is fine. I mean, Zoro and Luke, they're very, very equal. I mean, right now I believe Zoro is actually the number one on the leaderboard,
Correct.
which is what the one Yuke used to be. So I mean, it's almost like they're just the same person. So I would say anything I said about Luke stands for Zoro as well. I think Zoro is an excellent player. I Yeah, I mean I want to see him succeed too. So I still once again just believe that with Zoro there and Twisty and Oxy, still a very, very strong team with not many others that could like pose a threat.
Hey, that's fair. And I mean, now I guess Modern Magic, Eternal Sovereigns. Any comments you have about their players?
I think Alonzo has been doing very well since last season. I mean, he has probably not been on many people's radar, but he for sure was on mine. I knew he was gonna work some magic, and so far they made, I believe in Launchpad 2, they made two very big upsets. So that was
Yeah.
insanely cool to see, and I want to see that dark horse of a team just keep going and go really far.
Yeah, that's fair. And I mean, anything you wanted to say about Modern Magic before we go on, or you think they're just a lock?
Modern Magic. I mean, Carmine Uniclear, right? An insane brawler coming up from Nast, immediately going and winning NASA, right? So like, obviously, if he can do that, he can probably get through landing. But then also they have Forgot and Ron P, and they are both very strong players. That I Ron P was going through Nast and like went through massive improvement, just like Carmine, and then Forgot has just been a staple forever. So, I mean, that team is just three monsters all on it. How really can most teams deal with that?
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I mean, Carmine, Ron P might be next up. Who knows? But one other thing I wanted to ask you: are there any other teams that you're specifically excited to play against, or even just players?
Player wise, I'm excited to go against. I would probably say I like going up against Wo Chills because I like Cakes. He's very fun and has been my friend for like a pretty long time in the OS community. So going against his team is always good. But I just want to clarify, I don't want to go up against them in like like one of us gets kicked out of the whole thing kind of angle. That's not something I want to happen. Another team I would say I'm excited to fight against for different purposes than that team is probably like the Ballin' Ballers. I mean, they're a team that I fought in Nast, and I just want to see my comparison, how well we did against them in Nast to now, like the improvement.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, considering they did qualify through the winners bracket of Launchpad 1, right? It could be a testament to how much they've improved, but who knows? We'll see how that shakes up in Liftoff. And one more thing I also wanted to ask you. Is there anything you'd like to say to anyone? Any shout outs, any call outs of the sort?
Um, I guess the only call out I think I would give is that I know that on stream our team not hasn't been the most well received in terms of how who people want to win. And to that, all I gotta say is you guys can keep on preying on our downfall because at the end of the day, it'll only fuel us and let us go even further. So please, for my sake and my team's sake, keep at it. Keep praying we lose.
All right, you heard it here. Spooked Alter doesn't want your support. He wants to prove everyone wrong. Well, I suppose that's it for us. Thank you, Alter, for dropping by. It was a pleasure having you.
Of course, it's a pleasure being here.
And with that, viewers, don't go anywhere. We'll see you at liftoff. Bye.